Mr.A here, banging out another video, another edition of the Double RT Boxing Show with your host, myself, Mr.A. Thank you for tuning in the show. This is a post-fight recap, post-fight card recap, I should say, that of Eddie Hearn's Matchroom boxing on November 4th in Monaco. The fight card consisted of a European heavyweight title bout between Agit Kabayar taking on Dereck Chisora. It also consisted of a WBA eliminator between Scott Quigg taking on Oleg Yefimовich. And also, what else? It had two world title shots on the WBA light heavyweight. The newly crowned Dmitriy Bivol was making his first defense against Trent Broadhurst. And it also had a rematch in the WBA bantamweight with Jamie McDonald taking on Laborio Solis. Now, let's get into what the fight card review was. I didn't make a pre-one. I just didn't have the time. I was a little backed up. But we're going to do it with the post. Thank you for your time, support. Let's get into it. The first one we're going to dive into is the non-title fight. The eliminator between Scott Quigg and Oleg Yefimовich. On paper, everyone knew this fight was a mismatch, but yet I still went with the upset. I just didn't like what I've been seeing from Quigg as of late. And watching this fight, I kind of agree with the whole commentary of Carl Froch, and I don't know the other commentator's name, but Scott Quigg, he looked massive in there. He looked in really good shape, like always. You could see that he was levels above his competitor, Oleg, and he was just getting hit too often, too much. He ended up stopping him. Quigg ended up turning this guy into basically a punching bag, and the referee stepped in and stopped it in the 6th round. But prior to that, the first 2 rounds, Quigg is just walking him down with no type of style, just walking him down, not cutting the ring off, getting hit at will coming in, and eventually starts hooking him to the body, hooking him to the head. He finds his distance, and he just stops him. But the fight had no type of boxing beauty to it, no rhythm to it. It was just a ugly fight. So I'm gonna give that fight. It was a mismatch that I just think Quigg should have got him out sooner. So I give that fight like a D. I give that fight a very low score. Just for, like I said, the ugliness of Quigg just walking him down, getting hit by a lesser kind of, it wasn't appealing. Next comes the European Heavyweight Championship bout with the local talent, even though he's from Belgium or Germany, I should say. The local talent. I say that because it's a local level, like a European. The tiers, worldwide belts and European. So I say local. Agit Kabayar defeating Dereck Chisora. Now, this is a fight I predicted that Dereck Chisora would knock Agit out. Only because I was giving Dereck Chisora one more chance to prove he was that guy in the Dylan White fight. But the whole prediction, I was saying Dereck cannot take him lightly, because if he does, Agit's hand speed is too fast, and he has enough pop, enough feet work to put Dereck in a hole quick on points. And I don't know if Dereck has the stamina to catch up and surpass the point hole. But yet, saying all that and knowing all that, I still went with Dereck knocking him out. I got that prediction wrong. It's just like I got the upset on Oleg over Quigg wrong. But This fight was a good fight. Agi came out showing good hand speed, good footwork, a good enough um, box knowledge to, even though he did have his own pop in his punches, he knew he didn't have the total strength to match Dereck. So he would score points and use his fancy footwork, not fancy footwork, just faster feet to evade Dereck, making Dereck chase him, making him reach. When he gets close, hit him. So it's a really good showcase. I wouldn't say showcase fight because it definitely wasn't a showcase, but a really good career moment for Aggie and career discussion for Dereck Chisora. Now, being that the stage it was on, it wasn't the biggest stage, but it definitely was probably one of the bigger upsets of November 4th in boxing world. So I give that fight for the performance Aggie put on. He made Dereck Chisora look very. He made him look old and basically question what's left in his career, which is not a good sign of any boxer, especially when it comes against an opponent who's kind of unheard of, local level. But I'm going to give that performance a B because Aggie did really well. Hand speed, foot speed, angles, combinations, speed variations. He did a lot of good stuff in the fight. So that's definitely a B. Next comes the WBA light heavyweight defense by Dmitriy Bivol, the newly promoted WBA light heavyweight champion. The fact that Andre Ward and Bottle Jack both gave up their belts. The interim WBA decided that the interim champion Dmitriy Bivol has done enough, and they promoted him straight to champion instead of making him fight for it. Now, so therefore he fought Trent Broadhurst, who was not championship material. He was an interim challenge. He was the next step up for Dmitry. Someone who can move around the ring with a little bit pop in his punches. It was just a next step in tests for Dmitry, but it turned out to be a world title shot. So it was a very low level title bout. Dmitry, and you can see that the next step was there. Dmitry had a little trouble tracking Trent down. Normally we see Dmitry just hawk his people down 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and he had a hard time tracking Trent down. But when he did, he finally caught him with one right hand right before the bell rung. Like he hit Trent, and as Trent was falling, the bell rung, but he was out. So, given it was a spectacular knockout, but up until that point, Dmitry was looking not like himself. But I'm gonna give it a C. That fight was a C. And then you have the main event, the rematch of the WBA bantamweights. Champion Jamie McDonough trying to prove that his win over Liborio Solis wasn't controversy worthy, wasn't a flop, wasn't a loop, wasn't fluke. So they fight again, and from the get-go, it starts off as round 13. Solis is coming out being too fast, too aggressive for McDonough again. That right hand is landing all in round 1. In round 2, Jamie tries to pick up the little machismo, tries to go mano a mano with him. It's a pretty good round. Then they do a headbutt in round 3. The doctor checks it out like 2 or 3 times within that round, and eventually the fight is stopped. It goes to a no contest with like 10 seconds left in that round. And the fact that the cut was on the eye up here, not nowhere going in his eye, but it was just right up here. Maybe you would have liked to see maybe the cut man of McDonough's team have an opportunity to work his magic, maybe put whatever they do in cuts, adrenaline or whatever other stuff that coagulates the blood. But the fact that highly anticipated fight ended in a no contest, I'm going to have to give it a D. You know, because it was such high, it was high anticipation for that fight. I really wanted to see that fight. It was starting off good, and then poof, just shut down. So that's two D's, a C, and a B. Man, so let's see. You got 2-2. That's 4. Then you got a 4 and a 3. That's 7. 7 plus that's 11. So you figure it's about a C card. It's about a C card, right? 4 divided, yeah, about a 3.1. Turn that into a C. So this card ends up being a C card. That is Mr. A's post-fight card review of Eddie Hearn's Matchroom boxing that took place on November 4th in Monaco. Thank you for your time and support. Leave a comment down below. Do you agree with this card? Is it worthy of a C, or do you have a different grade for it? Let me know. I like to talk boxing. I like reading your guys' comments. I answer back. You know that. Thank you for your support. Thumbs up.